With Her Head Tucked Underneath Her Arm by R.P. Weston and Bert Lee. In the Tower of London, large as life, the ghost of Anne Boleyn walks, they declare. Poor Anne Boleyn was once King Henry's wife, until he had the headsman bob her hair. Ah, yes, he did her wrong long years ago, and she comes up at night to tell him so. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm, at the midnight hour, she comes to haunt King Henry. She means give him what for. Gadzooks, she's going to tell him off for having spilt her gore. And just in case the headman wants to give her an encore, she's her head tucked underneath her arm. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm, at the midnight hour. Along the draughty corridors, for miles and miles she goes. She often catches cold, poor thing. It's cold there when it blows, and it's awfully awkward for the Queen to have to blow her nose with her head tucked underneath her arm. Sometimes gay King Henry gives a spread for all his pals and gals, a ghostly crew. The headman carves the joint and cuts the bread, then in comes Anne Boleyn to queer the do. She holds her head up with a wild wah whoop, and Henry cries, "Don't drop it in the soup." With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm, at the midnight hour. The sentries think it's football that she carries in, and when they've had a few they shout, "Is Arsenal going to win?" They think it's Alex James instead of poor old Anne Boleyn with her head tucked underneath her arm. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. One night she caught King Henry. He was in the canteen bar. Said he, "Are you Jane Seymour, Anne Boleyn, or Catherine Parr? For how the sweet and fairy Anne do I know who you are, with your head tucked underneath your arm?"